Today we will talk about Velo and a mysterious account who popped up, put out a ton of information, and then erased his account. And it seems as if a couple of things that he talked about are beginning to come true as of right now. There are a ton of ties into XLM and its involvement in the Hyperledger, and there are even points to connect to SHX and XRP, but I won't be concentrating on that too much here. If we go back to one of his examples about the importance of MoneyGram and QR payments, we have proof of development in between MoneyGram and Stellar again here. And it looks as if a non-custodial wallet is coming out sometime soon. To highlight a few of the account's posts, he went on to explain how Velo is the future, how March and April of 2024 would have mass adoption, and tossed BRICS into it as well. Don't intend on explaining everything that he posted in depth, but I want to take an opportunity to just put everything out there so that I can expand on the points and ties as I am able to find more information on it. So it began with how Stellar works with Velo, who works with LightNet, who works with Transformate, which is JP Morgan and Barclays, on a global B2B platform. Here he is talking about the involvement with Amina and how it will change the world and bypass traditional banking, because with Basel III in effect, the new system will flourish with the Velo Protocol. It is the only protocol that informs you of asset collateralizing with fiat currencies and transporting that credit simultaneously along with commodities and with lending and real estate fractionalization. If I told you I have proof that Velo is helping to create the BRICS, would you believe? Payment service provider LightNet announced its agreement to enter a partnership with Transformate, who is the world's leading B2B global payments infrastructure as a service provider. And that is also involved with JPM. What many don't understand is that the Orbit rollout is connecting the traditional rails to Velo. MoneyGram is connected along with the QR payment system for Asia and Europe. March and April will render utility. If there are more US dollars outside of the US and Velo is providing a remedy to bypass that in order for countries to save, what will the value of Velo be? Velo equals prompt pay, equals QR codes, equals Asian, equals Euro, equals no USD. In order to see the true value of Velo, one must see the unseen and search the unsearchable. Wealth is created by a few that see the road ahead, for it is created. The new 1% will be minted in the near future. The goal of Velo is to bypass the USD for remittances and cross-border payments. What is the goal of BRICS? Isn't Velo attached to China, India, and Africa? Velo is a stablecoin. Orbit, MoneyGram, wallet equals utility and adoption in 2024. Velo will be utilized as tokenized deposits with traditional rails. All new bank accounts will be digital wallets in order to foster the new financial system. Currencies will flow via Stellar without USD on Velo Protocol. Stellar is connected to DTCC via a currency, who transacts 2.5 quadrillion annually. In the new financial system, all countries will store their wealth in their own currencies, not just USD. Who knew that LightNet was recognized by the Faster Payments Council as an alternative cross-border payments solution, along with Ripple and USDC? Here it explains how currencies will go into rails that will connect into Velo by way of an API, and the currencies are turned into Velo in order to back them, and that then opens up into everything else he talked about. All assets connected to Stellar will rise. Many will miss the new Bitcoin. JPM and Transfermate equal LightNet, which equals the Velo Protocol. Countries, banks, POS, commodities, real estate fractionalization, remittance payments, and cross-border payments. USD de-dollarization among many countries. It will be stellar indeed. There are patents for Velo and machine products. Is the last time under 1 cent. This year is a utility run. This is the last time to build true wealth. Now, with all of that said, and it is a ton of stuff, he did call out that once it hit all-time high, he would come back. And I was able to put together some information to connect a few of the topics he talked about to what is actually happening now. So Japan and Asian to integrate QR code payments by 2025, which is just in time for Velo to launch Orbit. This is a map of every real-time QR code settlement system out there. They all have the same structure in that they all do not use SWIFT. And what does that point to? Well, it points to BRICS plus countries. The reason QR code networks are so important is because you only need a mobile phone, a digital wallet, and a network ID. It completely bypasses traditional rails like SWIFT entirely. You don't even need a bank account. Here is an example of some real-time payments out there. And I want to concentrate on Thailand because that is the home of Velo. You had 17 billion transactions in 2022 with a 2027 projected amount of transactions of 32 billion. Real-time payments accounted for about 34% of total volume in 2022. BRICS Plus could also use Velo. They have deep ties to China and can do it all. And one of the things that can tie Velo into BRICS and how it's integrating with the traditional financial rails is the BIS Nexus project in Asia, which is concentrating on cross-border transactions by connecting instant payment systems, which we have a map of here, and it includes a ton of countries. Velo tokens act as a bridge asset, connecting the value of traditional assets to digital credits pegged one-to-one with any fiat currency via the Velo Protocol, which is the official description of Velo according to Stellar. And here in an article on the Velo site, it explains how that operates. Velo issues various stablecoins, what we know as digital credits, that can be used as an on-off ramp for our issuing partners on the cross-border payment network. These stablecoins are price-stable assets pegged to a reference fiat currency. They are collateralized by a basket of assets that includes cash and cash equivalents and Velo tokens. The process of creating and maintaining the value of these assets can be described as Velo stablecoins are created by an issuer by locking Velo tokens into a contract. Then stablecoins are then used by the issuer by exchanging them for cash and cash equivalents. The cash and cash equivalents received by the issuer are used as the prime collateral. Velo tokens are used as secondary collateral. Velo stablecoins are over collateralized, which means that $1 of stablecoin is backed by more than $1 of the basket of assets. And on the site, it calls out the SDF and LightNet as two of their strategic partners. On the team page, you have Jed, who created Stellar, David, who created the Stellar Consensus Protocol, and Robert Townsend, who I have some more information on, but he has been highly involved in financial technology in Asia for a long time. And I call out the involvement of Stellar and its consensus protocol because we just had an example of how Solana partnered with Velo in order to facilitate the overall operation and reliability of the clearinghouse function. Validation of the transactions is being maintained by the Stellar Consensus Protocol. It allows for proof of stake L1s like Solana to scale. And I have more that I am working on about the consensus protocol itself, but it is hard for me to condense that because a lot of this is just honestly not a topic that I can easily understand. But if you go into the Stellar Consensus Protocol white paper, it explains how the protocol is an FBA, which means that it is not proof of work, it is not proof of stake. It is what can be called in layman's terms proof of agreement, which includes no rewards paid out to third parties, which is exactly why it is extremely attractive in terms of adoption into financial institutions.